150.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 16th of July. It is 11 o'clock Central European time, and we have had a tiny retracement that we're going to go through today. I'll explain exactly what has happened when we get to talk about Bitcoin. But before we begin, what are we going to go through today on the stream? First of all, we are going to take a look at what Larry Fink has to say. What did he call Bitcoin? What and why has that been a major bullish move? We're going to talk about the final S1 submissions. If you don't know what they are, keep watching. We're going to go through rate cuts, Chairman Powell, all the big hitters came out yesterday. All the major assets were talked about. Altcoin season, when is that really going to kick in? The Helium roadmap has come out. And some DeFi platforms were hacked over the last 48 hours. Again, where else can you go for all of this news in an hour on the internet? Nowhere, I hear you say. A few good mornings. Good morning to Hidden Agendas. Good morning to Mags. Velvet Rope. Remember, if you are new here, smash the follow button. We are at 147,000 followers. We might just about hit 150,000 by the end of July. You never know. I think we might do it. And of course, the target for the end of the year is 200,000. That would be absolutely immense. Good morning, Harry. Welcome to the stream. So that's what we're going to go through. Before we do any of that, of course, we are going to go through the markets. We're going to go through some X-Files as well. As always, a busy show. Bullish Bull is in chat. Good morning. Make sure to smash the like button as well. And remember, if you comment in chat, it tells the algorithm that you are real and you're not asleep. And I haven't sent you to sleep. Even though Tariq is here, I think Tariq says good morning, has a coffee, and then has a nap, and then wakes up at the end to say goodbye. That's what I think, Tariq. And by the way, when he does have a nap, he has a nap in his Tesla, the Tesla that he's bought with all the gains from listening to Crypto Warehouse every single morning that we stream. Remember, we stream, in the summer, I think we're going to switch to 5 days a week and then still do 7 streams. So the 2 evening streams and the 5 in the day. But by Saturday, I mean, it's getting over 30 degrees here. And I know that's winter for Tariq. I know it's probably a bit chilly for Mags in chat, who's over there in Portugal. But 30 degrees, 32 degrees, that's when I start to go to sleep. So maybe we might do a Wednesday evening stream instead than the Saturday stream. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's get on with the markets. Global market cap up $2.3 trillion. You'll hear that the Tesla is still a dream. You can call your Tesla whatever you want, Tariq. I'd personally, if I was you, when you do get the Tesla, I'd call it Mike. Because just to remember me by, really. I don't own a Tesla, but I own some shares. I think it's a wise decision to own shares in Tesla, at least for the next probably 5 to 10 years. Because they're not going to go anywhere. They're only going to get better. And if Elon Musk keeps all of his different projects under one umbrella of Tesla, it's going to be worth a fortune. Just look at what are they called, Optimus robots or Prime robots, whatever he's called them. They're going to be huge. The new advancements he's making in batteries, again, huge. I think Tesla is going to go to a nation state level company where Tesla provides solutions to nation states, not just giving you some fancy cars to drive around and pretend that you are Tariq. So then Bitcoin is coming in at 62.8. I absolutely nailed this call, and I'm going to show it you in a minute. Absolutely nailed it. And robo-taxis as well. And of course, don't forget that the Teslas that you drive around in, they have the software update available to them to turn them into robo-taxis. That is, again, massively bullish. So Bitcoin 62.8, Ethereum coming in at just under $3,400. We closed our Bitcoin long last night and had a banquet. We had all kinds, chicken, lamb, we had some fish, we had all kinds of food last night. It was immense, and all down to Bitcoin going to 63. I think he closed at 62.3 or 63.2, one of the two. So yeah, take some profits along the way, and that's the key in this game. Don't just sit there and think that you can ride this all the way up. Take some profits, pay yourself. It's always important to do that. BNB 562, that's still up a touch over 24 hours. Solana coming in at 154. XRP is still holding 54 cents. So not too bad from the top coins. Pepe gained 20%. Dog with Hat is up 16. Floki, remember, there's a lot of meme coins that are going to come through, and they're like miner birds. The first sight of retracement and they will crash, but the first sign of Bitcoin moving up and they will rip. So 4 of the top 5 are meme coins. Brett, again, I think we've come down to the 11-cent range, which I said we would do. I think 11 cents was a good price to buy Brett at. Mantra, look at it go, 126. Big things expected of Mantra. It's still only a $1 billion market cap. But remember, I am trying to pick solid winners for this bull run. And Mantra will not go live until Q4 this year, at which point I could very well be out of the race to get into Mantra. I said it was a good buy at 80 to 90 cents. It's at 126. I expect it to go up towards $2, probably within the next month or so. That would give it a 1.5, $1.6 billion market cap. And if it goes live and works, then this could go on to great things. But the reason I'm not 100% bullish on it is simply because if there are delays, and we start to see it being January, February, March next year, then it's going to miss this bull run, and then it will rip in the next bull run. So be very careful with coins that are not fully live. Arweave is up a touch. NEAR is up $6. I was buying NEAR all the way down and all the way up. I think the lowest I got NEAR for was about $4.90. The highest I've bought NEAR for is about $5.80. Again, a lot of these coins are likely to retrace if Bitcoin pulls back, but we'll look at that in a minute. Athena is up a touch. ICP has ripped an awful lot as well in the last 2 or 3 days. So lots of gainers. Again, not many losers. Uniswap, Optimism, Mog, Tron, not really a lot of losers, and fractions of losses. Not a great deal to worry about. Now then, I did try and snag a recent article, and this is to do with, of course, Mt. Gox has moved another chunk of cash. 47,300 Bitcoin moved to a new address. That's what they're blaming for the dip. I don't think it is. I mean, it probably has something to do with the dip, but I've got a reason I'll show you in a minute. Remember, we had Germany. They sold 50,000 Bitcoin. This is 47,300 Bitcoin. Is this going to be sold? Who knows? Let's wait and see. But that's the breaking news that came out 9:30. So an hour and a half ago that came out. The 47,300. If it is to be sold, then we're going to see a correction. However, if it's to be distributed, then we are not going to see the dip, and it is more fear than anything else. But don't worry, don't worry. Donald Trump's Vice President, JD Vance, as well as not liking the UK, he has holdings of up to $250,000 in Bitcoin, probably a lot more. And in all seriousness, we want to see some kind of crypto asset holders in the government. Now, Tucker Carlson said something very interesting about JD Vance, who I've never heard of, by the way. Tucker Carlson said that every person who he doesn't like in Washington hates JD Vance. Now, that, he was saying, is a better indication of the type of man he is than praising him. So the bad people, if you like, in Washington don't like him. So you look at what's happening at the minute. We've obviously had the issue on Saturday in America. You look at the fact that Elon Musk is now switched from Democrat to Republican. You look at Bezos switching from Democrat to Republican. You can see what the writing is on the wall. Now then, again, I know we try and cover alts on here, but we've got an hour every day. It's very difficult. People are focused on Bitcoin and supply. There's dozens of alts running hard without my timeline even mentioning them. Many are up 20 to 50% in a week or so and are sitting on negative funding rates as well. If Bitcoin and Ethereum hold up, these rallies aren't even close to being done. I totally agree. Remember how far we have come down. We are only now seeing these alts starting to get back to the prices that we were talking about a couple of months ago. You know, a $6 near, I was talking about that going to $8 or $9. Fetch or ASI, I've now got a $4 or $5 target. In fact, I think it's a $5 target for it. It's at 135. We're way off where we need to be. So this is not over yet, and we're going to talk about that in alt season. Now, we've got an article about this, but I have to lead with this. The Ethereum ETFs will be going live on the 23rd of July. Now, I've said this before, we have a sell price of $4,200 for our Ethereum long. We got it at $3,000. We're going to sell at $4,200, take the profit and run, because the chances are we're going to wick up, the long will get closed, and then we might come back down again. But longer term, we still have big bags of Ethereum. Trafi is just getting started marketing crypto to the masses. Crypto is disrupting the entire $360 trillion traditional financial system. The total crypto market cap today is $2 trillion. This will all be on-chain in the future, still early days. Absolutely agree. The key here is to tap into as much of that as possible, and BlackRock are doing that, and that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. Good morning, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Again, Ash Crypto, another good guy to follow over there. $1 billion of USDT is minted at the Tether Treasury. The whales are coming. And this was late last night, 11 o'clock last night. So have a think about this. These whale alerts that you see tend to be minting alerts in a bull run and burning alerts in a bear market. This is excuse me, this is $1 billion, not $1 trillion. This is $1 billion being minted and sent into the crypto ecosystem. Now, that is obviously buy pressure. At some point in the next few days, it will be buy pressure. Now, does that have anything to do with what I'm about to show you? I would absolutely say so. And that is, the headline of the show today is, I think so too. BlackRock CEO praises Bitcoin as an asset class, calls it a legitimate financial instrument. Larry Fink showered praises on Bitcoin as an asset class when he was talking to our good friend Kramer. He said, it's an instrument you invest in when you're more frightened of other types of returns. As in, it's more like digital gold than anything else. It's an asset you go to when there's conflict or pandemic or whatever you want to call it around the world. So even he understands that it's now an asset class that you hold. It also takes out of the equation debasement. So if you're in a country where your government is printing 10% of your money every year, well, guess what? That means 10% of the money in your pocket every year is also disappearing into thin air. So buying Bitcoin, again, I said this yesterday, Bitcoin holding is not black and white. Bitcoin is a scale of grey. Good morning to Eugene. Good morning from Florence in South Carolina. Wow. I'm sure it's warm over there. I think that, like I said, if you're in America or Europe, you're not going to appreciate the value of Bitcoin as much as if you were in Argentina or Turkey, where 20% of their currency is being debased every year. We appreciate it because it goes up in value. They appreciate it because it holds its value. We are not the same people. So FINK came out and basically said, hold and buy and take it from there. What else are BlackRock trying to do? They are trying to digitize and tokenize every real world asset. That is why you need real world assets in your portfolio. You need to have some real world assets. Now then, I drew this yesterday on the Ethereum chart. Why have I got the Ethereum chart up first? We're going to go through Bitcoin first. But both of the graphs, again, Mystic Mike has struck again. What did we say was going to happen with Bitcoin? We said that we would come up and touch $65,000, and then we had to break it or we would come back down. Now, I don't know if I can show it you on the daily, but we did. It says here, there we go, $65,000. That was the make or break. $65,000. We came up, we touched it, we have been rejected. We've come all the way down to about 62.3. We're back now at 63,000. This is not the end of the mini bull run. This was a rejection of a key price. And that is the key to understand. Nothing goes up forever and nothing comes down forever. We had a great move up. 57 to 65,000 in a few days is an $8,000 move. I've been telling you all for at least 2 weeks that we can go up as fast as we go down. And you can see, we look down here, that move there, actually let's use one of these lines. That move down was pretty much that move up. So we've gone up as fast as we've come down. But again, people are bullish, people are dancing in the streets, they're drinking champagne from shoes, all this kind of nonsense. But don't forget where we've come from. We still have the target in the bottom right hand corner, which is 74,000. We're not in a game until we get to 74,000. So this at the minute is just recovering from BlackRock, sorry, not BlackRock, Grayscale. It's recovering from Germany. It's recovering from the Mt. Gox news. It's all recovery. But everything I'm showing you today is bullish. So don't be feared by a $63,000 Bitcoin when we were at $65,000. I've just gone through Larry Fink calling it digital gold on national television in America. And now I am showing you the final S1 submissions for the Ethereum ETF launch. Remember today, I said this show was about the big hitters. We're not going to talk about a $20 million micro cap coin. We're talking about interest rates, Bitcoin, Ethereum ETF. We're talking about BlackRock, $10 trillion company, behemoth, going on TV saying how great Bitcoin is. We've now got the SEC approving the filings by the 16th, which is today. The launch is the 23rd of July. If you have not got your Ethereum yet, you are going to regret it in a week's time. I am not telling you to buy Ethereum. I am not saying this is financial advice. What I'm saying is these people work in traditional finance. Things in traditional finance work on longer scales than crypto. In crypto, we move at lightning speed. Prices go up and down $1,000, $2,000 in a minute. They are telling you, they are signposting you what is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen on the 23rd of July when this goes live? Do you think the price of Ethereum is going to go to $2,000? Absolutely not. So where's it going to go? It's going to go back to revisit its previous price points. Now we can bring up the Ethereum chart and I can show you exactly what I mean. And remember, I am not a TA. I do not do TA. I am a simple old man with a grey beard that just looks at previous price points and tells you where we are going to go. Okay, you saw me draw this circle yesterday. Okay, that is what we had to do yesterday. Now let's get rid of some of these things, which we don't really need on here. Okay, let's get rid of that now. Okay, why did I draw this? Because we needed to break this level here, which is about $3,400. We needed to break it. We needed to hold it as support, and then we will go to the moon. If we do not break it, we will come straight back down. Which of those two things do you think is going to happen, given that we're about to get the ETF go live date? Which one is going to happen? Are we going to come back down to $3,200? Or are we likely to go up to the signposted prices that we have been at? I was going to draw an arrow. I better not. That looks like financial advice then. We have got these different price points on here, which have formed previous price action. $3,900, $4,200. They are the price targets that we are aiming for. Ethereum has been in this downward channel ever since May. Look at what happened. We came down. We then found the bull market support band. We had no support. We've come all the way down to 2,800. And look at that meteoric rise. We are back at the top of the bull market support band, testing it there. Now, if we test it, look at what happened the last time we tested it. We tested it, and then you see the God candle of all God candles. We went from 3,000 to probably 3,700. $700 move. Where does a $700 move take us to? It takes us to roughly $4,100, which is about up there. So, is it going to happen today? If the SEC approve today, we go live, we are going to see the markets absolutely explode to the upside. Do not think it is not going to happen. Do not think that the price of Ethereum is going to follow what has happened with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin went live as an ETF, what happened? Grayscale dumped for 6 weeks. It dumped and dumped and dumped. Why? Because Bitcoin was at a discount on Grayscale. So for every $1,000 of Grayscale you bought, you were actually buying $1,200 of Bitcoin. So when the price went up, people were immediately making a 20% profit. So when it was converted to the ETF, what happened? They dumped, and they dumped for days. They sold, what was it? $2 billion, $5 billion worth of Grayscale was sold. Ethereum doesn't have that discount. It's gone between a 1% discount and a 1% premium. So we're not going to have the Grayscale dump, number one. Number two, it's going live a month or two before interest rates are cut. Interest rates get cut, number go up. Right. So we talk about perfect storms, don't we? We talk about perfect storms on here. What perfect storm did I talk about last year? I said the Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin halving, interest rates coming down, Trump winning the election, Ethereum ETF potentially on the cards as well. All of those things have or are going to happen. They have happened or they're going to happen. It's a perfect storm. We have a bonfire and we don't want it to be extinguished. We go too soon, we get to 120,000 in December, it's going to be very difficult for us to pump next year. But now we've taken our time, we've retraced. We're at a decent price now for Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything else. We're at decent prices. We've not overextended. we now can go into the end of this year and maybe move up towards $80,000 to $90,000 for Bitcoin. Maybe we see a $5,000 or $6,000 Ethereum at the same time. We go into next year at $85,000. Can we see a blow off top to push us up over $200,000? Given that Trump is coming in, given that Vance, his VP, holds Bitcoin, what do you think? We're going to have a new head of the SEC. It's a perfect storm. We are entering the perfect storm, and we've been in it pretty much since about January, February time. That's what we need to look forward to and not be pessimistic every time Bitcoin wets the bed. It's going to wet the bed several more times between now and the end of the year, and several more times next year as well. So let's not worry about every retracement. 25% is healthy. 50%, 40%, not so much. So then, a couple of people spoke last night. Chairman Powell spoke, as well as a few others. Footsteps of interest rate cuts are coming. Chicago Fed President Goolsbee also made a statement. There he is. I don't know what it is about these people in suits, but I mean, they never look healthy. They never look healthy. Maybe he works too hard. Who knows? So the Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee stated he believes that the decrease in price pressures requires lowering interest rates as supported by the moderate June inflation data. He expressed concerns that keeping interest rates steady could lead to an overly restrictive policy stance. Exactly. They don't want to stall the economy. So much as they want to keep inflation down, they have to keep the economy going. He described the latest inflation data as excellent, and it was on track to hit its 2% inflation target. However, they are never going to tell you exactly when it's going to be cut. We've talked about signposting of the ETFs. We've talked about signposting of people investing. The Fed are never going to signpost the rate cuts because it will just rip the markets. Good morning. Packer is in chat. Good morning. You've made it for once. So it's extremely encouraging, interest rates. Everybody should be happy about this. Everybody should be happy about this. The committee made a statement that we do not expect to reduce interest rates until we are more convinced that we are on the path to 2%. And it looks as if they are. His comments follow a report released earlier on Thursday that showed a key gauge of consumer prices rose in June at the slowest pace for pretty much 3 years. After the announcement of the data showing the inflation decreased, the next meeting would be July the 30th to 31st. I am not sure if that's too soon to cut. Whether they've mentioned that they want to do 2 or 3 cuts. That's likely to be 2 cuts this year. Would it surprise me if they cut in July and September? No. So that's the key. How and why and when are they going to cut? I think they're going to do it twice this year. Twice this year, for me, I don't think September and October would be the best 2 months to do it in. They've got to spread it out. And as far as I'm aware, they don't have a meeting in August. So it would have to be July and September, surely. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things, but that's what I would imagine. So why is interest rates coming down? Good. Because it means the money printer gets turned on, and it means that people have more money in their pockets because it affects mortgage rates, loans, all of those kind of things, credit cards. It affects all of the debt. So reducing interest rates gives people more money. That's why they put interest rates up in the first place, to basically make you feel poor so you don't spend money. Very simple. Paco, I said it's 9:30 on Tuesday evening. Is it really? One cut max. Still saying chart show stock market drops on previous rate cuts. They do. They do. That is a strange situation. But the alts will pump for us, and that's all we care about. Stock markets tend to react to rumours. However, this time, we've got to remember that we're heading into an election. So Biden will want to put stimulus into the economy before election day in November. I don't know whether one rate cut will be enough for Biden. I don't know whether they've given up. I don't know whether they are looking defeat in the face? I don't know. But remember, Biden's been in power post-pandemic, and much as you don't like him, much as he doesn't know where he is half the time, no government has been able to deal with this. Look at the UK government. The Tories were in power. Everybody has lambasted them for everything, but they printed the money to start with. Trump and Biden printed the money to start with. They've made this rod for their own backs, but they've still had to deal with it. And interest rates going up slows the economy down, slows inflation, and that's where we are. I think this rate cut will pump the markets because you've got to remember as well, we've gone up faster than at any other point in history. Interest rates went from 1% to 5% in a year, pretty much in a year. So I think the rate cuts are going to be really bullish for everybody. Really bullish for everybody. It's been an exciting week or two. Never seen crypto dump and pump so rapidly in such a short time. I know. I think we can pretty much blame Germany for a big chunk of it, and Mt. Gox news and things like that. But again, look at the things that overhang crypto, the ghosts that haunt crypto. What were those ghosts that we've now got rid of? We had all of the locked up Solana in FTX. That was a ghost overhanging us. That got bought up by a company, so that ghost went away. We've had the ghost of Celsius dumping on the market. That didn't transpire. We've had the ghost of Mt. Gox that's been hanging over us now for about 6 or 7 years. That is now finally going. So we have no ghosts left in our house. We've got no skeletons left in our closet. What will come, I sound like Kamala Harris now, what will happen is we will get more ghosts and we will get more skeletons in our closet. And I think they're going to be things like projects running out of money. We saw Phantom last week. It's making $25,000 a month in revenue as a blockchain. It has no value. It's going to go bust. So I think the the bear market next cycle is going to be project after project after project after project going out of business. That's what I think is going to be the narrative of the bear market. We've seen projects which are talking about having an 18-month runway, a 2-year runway. You know, I'm not going to mention names on here because I don't want to fear you, but there are projects that don't have a lot of money left and they're going to need VC capital. They're probably praying that the bull run really kicks in and the VCs start to throw money at them. But the writing's on the wall for a lot of crypto projects. That's why I've started to kind of remind people, you need to look at projects which make money. So Reza, for example, Reza, who's one of our OGs, he's asked me to put together a list of micro-cap projects to invest in, which are, what would you call them? Risky plays. And what I've done is I haven't picked risky plays. I've picked plays of companies that make money but have a small cap. And the reason being is they're never going to run out of money. And that's the key. People are buying into layer ones and layer twos and these projects and they don't make any money. If they don't make any money, it's not a business. If it's not a business, why are you investing in it? So I'm not going to go off on one there, but suffice to say, we are coming out of a recession and we are heading into what I would consider to be a post-recession boom, which will coincide with Labour being in power in the UK and Trump being in power in America. So I think we're heading in the right direction. And yeah, I mean, with FTX, I think it's something like $18 billion is going to get pumped into the market, or they believe $18 billion is going to get pumped into the market. And I think if you're not bullish on the news that we've just gone through, I don't know what to say. Larry Fink, talking about Bitcoin, the final submissions for the Ethereum ETF and interest rates cuts. What else do we want? I mean, come on. What else do we want? Good morning, Kabir. Welcome to the show. Now, alt season. A lot of people are happy because their bags are pumping. But let us just remind you, A $155 Solana is not super bullish. A $566 BNB is not super bullish. Kabir, I'm back. Bitcoin will come down now. You know what, though? There is an argument to be made that we could come down to $58,000, $59,000. There is an argument for that because everybody's gone long. And I don't know whether we are or we're not, but let's see. I'll have a look at Horizon. I've actually put together. I'm going to let you in on. I'm going to tell you a couple of the tokens that I've picked because he's not here, and it is supposed to be for the OGs. But I've picked Maple Finance and Goldfinch. I've got 6. Maple and Goldfinch are my 2 real-world asset projects. Maple has done $4.1 billion worth of business. Goldfinch is another massive play, very small caps, but I'm not going to tell you the rest of them because that's for the OGs. But suffice to say, there are micro cap plays out there, but I would ask you to start looking at the revenue model of the projects that you're investing in. Now, it's fine when you look at meme coins because meme coins don't have massive teams. They don't tend to run out of money. There's nothing to really worry about. What I'm talking about are projects that have offices, developers, managers, marketing departments, infrastructure behind them. They're the projects I'm talking about going out of business. And it will start the day after the bull run finishes. And that's what you need to worry about. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Packer, I don't watch an awful lot of people over there on YouTube. What I tend to do is I read a lot of the articles that we do on the show. I read a lot about the content, and I don't go off and read about other YouTubers simply because you don't know if they're being paid to shill those projects. A good example was an AI project that I was going to look at. I liked the look of it, and I was going to make a video about it. And I was going to say to you guys, this looks really good. And I went and looked at the investors and the partners, and 2 or 3 of the partners were crypto influencers. So I went and watched a couple of their videos, and they did the usual trick where they say, hey guys, what you need to do is you need to go and buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XYZ coin. And then I knew I wasn't going to cover it because I don't want to be associated with that kind of shilling. As I keep saying, they are shillfluencers. And shillfluencers are people who are paid good money to tell you. Look at Polkadot and look at how much they are paying influencers to talk about Polkadot. That's what I need to worry about. Twitter, you should follow me on Twitter, or we should follow each other on Twitter. Eugene Nicholas is up very early. Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's in South Carolina. Well, the thing is, people get up early to watch us. That's what you need to know. Right then, are we going to see an alt season? As I keep saying, a lot of alts are up 10, 20, 30, 40%, but they're not anywhere near where they were. So I'll give you an example. A good project that I like, and again, I'm going to talk about this project. I hold this token, but I don't get paid to talk about them, so I'm allowed to say that anything I want. Right. So if we look at Dupe, one of my favourite picks for the bull run. Okay. Dupe on a weekly chart looks like this. Okay. I haven't looked at this for a while, as you can see, because the chart is off. Let's move this along a bit. There we go. Okay. Look at where we were in April. We were at whatever that was, 160, 180. We're at 180, okay? This is not alt season. This is recovering from a drop. I like shillfluencers. It's my word that. I have copyrighted shillfluencers because I think that's what a lot of them are. And listen, if somebody came to me and said, I'm going to give you $100,000 a month to talk about Polkadot, I'd have to seriously consider it. If somebody offered me $10,000 a month to talk about Polkadot, I'd have to seriously consider it because it's great money. But the issue is that I don't get that, so I can talk freely about everything. And they have a conflict of interest, and that's the issue. Are they going to say something? Forget for a second that they're being paid. If they're not being paid to talk about a project, they can be neutral. Maybe they hold a lot of it, like I hold Dupe. I don't hold a lot of it, but I hold Dupe. I can say what I want. If the price is going down and it's finished, I'm going to say, listen, it doesn't look good for Dupe. I think we need to get out. I'm going to get out. It's up to you, not financial advice. If I'm being paid $5,000 a month by Jupiter, I'm never going to tell you to sell their tokens, am I? Because I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. So when it goes through a bad period, I'm not going to talk about it. However, this is an example of where we are. We are back at the price we were at we came up to it at the start of January, we retouched it again in March, but we've fallen all the way down. We're at 86 cents. Remember, my fair value price for this coin at the minute is about 150, which is that white line. When we went above 150, I said we're now overbought. We haven't been overbought for a while, so we still have a 100% move to get back to where we were. That's why we still need an alt season to catch up, because we're not back. You see that chart? It's over, it's so over, we're back, we're so back. And there's that perfect cycle. Okay? Well, on this chart, we're back, we're so back, it's over, it's so over, we're back. Okay? It's just the cycle. I say take profits along the way. So if we go anywhere in that region and rip, you sell some of your coins and take a profit, put it to one side and hold it. And then if the price comes back down, as it invariably will do, then you've got some money on the side to go back into the token. That is my advice. It's not financial. And again, sometimes you will be wrong and I will be wrong. Maybe you took profit there, but then you could also take some profit up here. And if you'd have taken profit there, and you bought back in this range here, when everybody was in chat saying it's over, the bull run's finished, you would have bought a 70-cent dupe, having sold it at 150. So you'd be getting double your dupe on that dip just then. I didn't do that because mine's all staked, but you know what I mean. So you've got to be careful that you don't get overly excited. We're only at 63,000. We were at 73,000. We've still got another, 15% move to do to get back. And that's for Bitcoin. The alts have still got a 100% move to get back to where they were. We are nowhere near through the moves to get us back to all-time highs and get us back to the prices. We're not, we're at $155 Solana. We're not at $200 for Solana. We have a long way to go. Altcoin prices have been in a rut, but a key alt season indicator hints that the strongest wave is yet to come. So, we've seen the drawdown. I'm not going to read everything out. The 200 equal weight index is still trending down, but the alt season indicator shows that the recent washout, when it hit 10%, was likely a relative momentum bottom, according to Jamie Coutts at Real Vision. I like Real Vision, by the way. Raoul Powell, who's over there, is an English guy, ex-Goldman Sachs. He gets panned by everybody, okay? Let's have a look. This guy. Now, again, I've got no association with this guy, okay? Raoul Powell, he is, as far as I can see, and I've watched him for probably 3 years now, he's an honest guy. He's an honest guy. What does he tell you to buy? Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. What do I tell you to buy? Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I haven't got anywhere near the following that he has. He gets absolutely panned. Absolutely panned. Now, I don't know whether it's jealousy, I don't know what, but he founded Real Vision. Jamie Coutts works Real Vision. They are sensible people. They are above being bought by tokens, okay? And that's the key. These shillfluencers that you watch that are being paid $20,000 or $50,000 a month, they are not above being bought. So be careful who you watch and be careful who you listen to, and think about the reasons behind them telling you about a project. Even me, don't trust anybody you hear on the internet. Do your own research. So he's shared this chart. This is marked at the bottom. Altcoins could still bounce around these levels for a while before we see a concerted takeoff. Many have started to build decent bases. What is this? This is the top. Yep. Okay. And that's right. Okay. So he's talking about the bottom here. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we've bottomed, but that doesn't mean we can't come lower. It just means I think we've bottomed. If you look at the chart there for 2023 and whatever it was, 2020 and 2019, those bottoms were a lot longer, if you look, than the one we've just had. So there is a chance we could retrace again and go up. That dude from Oz, Peter, who panic sold Aero, I think he bought so I don't think he's got any regrets. I think he bought Now the thing is, Aero is an incredible project on base, and I don't care about this argument that says Uniswap is going to destroy it. Why buy on Aero when you can buy on Uniswap? Well, that's the case for everything. Uniswap and Aero. Aero is a base DEX. You go over there, you buy your tokens, okay? Brett has helped it enormously. It's going to do great guns. It can coexist with Uniswap. This is what I find so tribal about crypto. Bitcoin maxes, ETH maxes, Sol maxes. Shut up. There is room for 5 or 6 multi-billion pound meme coins in the next bull run and the next bear market. If you look at DEXs, there is room for 20 or 30 DEXs in the market. This is a global market, okay? You walk down your high street, how many clothes shops are there? How many restaurants are there? How many tech gadget shops are there? 3, 4, 5? How many clothes shops, gadget shops, and companies have you got where you live in your country that compete with each other? Probably 20, 30, 40, 50 companies in one niche. So why is it when it comes to crypto, we can only have one winner, ETH killer, Sol killer? It's BS. It's all BS. There's room for 20 or 30 DEXs, 20 or 30 layer 1s, 20 or 30 layer 2s. The RWA projects, AI projects. There's room for tens, if not hundreds of these things. So stop listening to people who say, well, just buy Uniswap. No, that's not how you win. You don't go to the stock market and say, I am going to buy BP. No, what do? You go and buy oil and gas fund from Vanguard. Why? Because it's got all the oil and gas companies in it. You buy them as a collective. You go to crypto, at some point in the near future, I guarantee you will be able to buy a crypto that has assets from all of the different DEXs. You will be able to buy a DEX crypto, and that DEX crypto will have Uniswap, it will have Orca, it will have Aero, it will probably have Moon, it will probably have Radium, you name it, maybe 10 or 15 different DEX tokens. And you will be able to buy that as one token. So which one would you buy? Personally, if you are new to crypto, I would say go and buy a layer 1 token, a layer 2 token, a DeFi token, and a meme token. Go and buy them, and then you don't need to ever worry about whether it's Aero, Orca, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, because you don't care. You hold them all. And that is where we're going to get to at some point. So don't listen to trash talk that tells you not to buy something based on the fact that it has a competitor. Okay? There is a difference, and I talk about this a lot. There is a difference between, for example, Mantra. It has existential threats because it's not built, it has no market share. Somebody like BlackRock or Goldman Sachs could come along and build a replica of it. It doesn't mean Mantra is going to go out of business. It means it will have heavy hitting competition. Chainlink is way ahead of all the competition. It doesn't mean that another one can't appear in 5 or 6 years' time. You can hold both tokens. Stop being so tribal. So good news is altcoins are likely to rip. I think if Ethereum rips, anything to do with Ethereum is going to rip over the next week. So if you hold Lido, if you hold Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, if you hold Uniswap, if you hold any tokens associated with Ethereum, they are very likely to do very well over the next 4, 6, 8 days. Then it will go live. Then we should see Ethereum go up again. Then they'll rip even more. So expect Ethereum season, if you like. When last did we have a competition night show or rant show? You know what, Kabir? We haven't done it for weeks. Weeks and weeks. And the reason is that they take an awfully long time to prepare. And I know it doesn't look like it when you watch us. And I know we look like Laurel and Hardy. And I know it's all painful to watch. But they are actually really difficult to do. Because we have to get the time to find projects to give us tokens to give away. And through the crash that we've just experienced, the 25% drawdown that we've experienced, nobody wants to talk to you. Now, so Packer, we have a Wednesday night show that we do where we go to the office, we drink wine or cider or whatever else we drink, and we give away tokens and we talk about a subject. We've done it on meme coins before. We've done it on a few other things, projects. We've given coins away. We have competitions, but we haven't done it for a while because basically everything comes out of our pocket. If we don't get somebody else to sponsor us, it comes out of our pocket. And, you know, we're not Crypto Banter. We're not BitBoy Crypto. We're not Altcoin Daily. We don't get those kinds of sponsorship deals. So if I'm giving away $50, it's coming out of my pocket. That's the issue. So we do have, however, we have been reached out to by 2 fairly big projects in the last 48 hours. And they possibly want us to do a giveaway night. And we'll probably do that. I don't know when though. We were supposed to do a Kronos chain giveaway. We haven't arranged it. We've got about $100 worth of Kronos coins to give away. But again, we have to do interviews. We have to re-record. We have to pre-record the interviews. It's a lot of work. There's probably about, I'd say 10 to 20 hours has to go into one of those shows if I'm going to do it properly. And that's a lot of work to do on top of what else we're doing. So it hasn't happened yet, but we have time. Now then, let's move on. So altcoin season should happen. Probably going to happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And again, I'm going to show you this article. I'm not a massive fan of this project. I'm going to be honest. I don't hold any, and I wouldn't hold any. Helium Mobile. The story behind Helium Mobile was it started off on its own chain, and it realized it was not going to get anywhere. So it migrated itself onto Solana, which was the best thing it could do. Solana, funnily enough, has a mobile phone. So it was a good move for Helium. They've moved over and they are basically a decentralized mobile phone network. And I mean, if it works, it needs adoption. It's like we talk about that other project on Solana. I can't remember the name of, not Sharkify, the other one. Anyway, it's a decentralized project. It doesn't work without adoption. If you haven't got 500,000 or 600,000 nodes, it's not going to work. And that's my problem with a lot of these projects. They're not going to get the adoption they think they're going to get, and it's going to fail. However, that doesn't mean you can't make money out of it. So Helium Mobile is a decentralized mobile and wireless network, and it shared its first roadmap. Let's get down to it. It has partnered, by the way, with some existing mobile phone providers. And what it tries to do is, or what you can do, is you can create a a mesh where you provide a hub for that mobile network. And when people make calls over your box, your network, you get commission in helium. And it's all very fancy, it's all very exciting, but I just don't see it working. And it's going to need mass adoption, and it's trying to do too much. And that's my issue with it. So it's trying to connect up to different mobile networks. It's had some limited success. It's partnered with Telefonica in Mexico. However, I know a lot of people out there are interested in tech, so I would suggest going to have a look at it. Now, they call it a DPIN, Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, and to some extent it is. And if we had all the mobile phones in the world using it, then yes. If it came as standard on Apple and Android phones, then yes, this is the future. It certainly is. But it's not going to get anywhere unless it gets adoption. So regulated utilities such as internet service providers, energy companies, telecom companies are notorious for being capital-intensive enterprises. You basically install the software on your phone and you get yourself a little router, and then you provide part of the network, if you like, and you get paid in helium. I mean, it's a nice touch, but I think personally I'd have gone down the route of doing it in a small country. I would have picked somewhere like the Isle of Man or Gibraltar or Malta or Cyprus. I would have tested it somewhere like that and then rolled it out to maybe poorer countries that don't have the infrastructure. I certainly wouldn't have gone anywhere near America or Europe, or for that extent the majority of Asia. I would be looking at Africa and small nation states. El Salvador, for example. I hold and stake 40,000 Crow, one of my bigger bags, but not a big mover, and was worried during the FTX days. The worry was FUD, and I said so in a video at the time that it was FUD about that company. I've got somewhere. I think I've got about 250,000 Crow. I've held it. Believe it or not, I've held it since about 10 or 11 cents before the bull run. And now we're at what, 9.5, 10 cents. So it's still there. I've staked it. I've done lots of things with it. I'm going to make a video about one of the projects that has gone live. But I mean, the thing with Crow is that they need to take a leaf out of BNB's book, and they need to copy BNB. And they need to sit down and say, right, Kronos and Crow, we need to replicate BNB, and not be ashamed to say that, because BNB has done nothing but appreciate in value over the last 2 or 3 years. And why has it done that? Simply because they've got a burn mechanism, and they've now introduced different locking mechanisms, and it's the perfect solution. Whereas Crow is an emissions-based coin where it's pumping out 10, 12%. It's only ever going to devalue 10 or 12% a year. So in the bull run, what price is it likely to see? Maybe 60 cents. It's still a good return from where we are now. It's still 6x. But if they introduce the burn mechanism and they limit the supply and they slash the rewards and everything else that goes along with it, and then make people lock it up for longer and longer and longer, that's when you'll start to see price appreciation, in my opinion. Absolutely. Yeah, Black Sea has, yeah. There's a lot of people I follow on X that talk about it. We actually had Pamper was on the show. We did an interview with Pamper about a month ago. We put that live, and we talked to Pamper about the ecosystem. There's a lot that can be changed. So millions are lost after 3 DeFi protocols hacked in one weekend. There is nothing better than a hackathon over a weekend, eh? So 3 were hacked. Does it have the list of the 3 on here? Because you will have heard of some of the names. Right. Let's have a look. Where do we start with this one? So Ethereum-based lending platform Do Finance lost $2 million to a series of flash loan-powered hacks. PeckShield raised the alarm before further attack transactions were identified by Exfil, bringing the total loss to $1.96 million. Not nice. The vulnerability was identified and the flash loan callback. Well, anyway, we're not going to go into the actual details of it. It was hacked. There's flash loan attacks are one of the more common ways that these platforms are attacked. So the money went through Tornado Cash, which is the way out. So Doe Financed acknowledged the hack a few hours later. After a well-needed break on Sunday saw two incidents. First, the Discord server of Athena, the synthetic dollar that I don't trust and don't like. That got compromised. The breach led to a seemingly legitimate account posting the promise of retroactive rewards even for token holders while linking to a malicious URL. Again, they'll try and get you every way. The suspicious message was reported by Zach XBT, who I also follow. He's a good person to follow. So that again is a problem, and I'm going to get to the end of this in a minute and give you my final thoughts. And of course, we talked about the domain hacking last week on Pendle and a few others. And then Mintrest, that it had been exploited for $1.4 million on Sunday. Again, so the long and short of this is I make a lot of videos and I tell you to follow Twitter. I tell you to follow them on what's it called? Not Twitter, Telegram, sorry. I tell you to follow them on Discord if you can. And the problem is that when you have a watertight product like Athena has, even though I don't like the product, it's got watertight product, they'll get you a different way. They'll hack the Twitter account, they'll hack the Discord channel, they'll hack the Telegram group. And what you need to do is you need to have confluence that is a legitimate offer. And then you need to think about it, and then you need to give yourself time. So my final thought is very simple. If you see an offer that's too good to be true, you don't click it. If you see a celebrity tell you to go and buy a meme coin, don't do it. If you see somebody offer you a pre-sale of a token, don't do it. Even the pre-sale videos that I make, don't buy any of them, okay? If somebody's giving you free tokens, take it on the proviso that you don't connect your wallet and it becomes a claimable option. Discord and X are both easily hacked. We've seen that with celebrities over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Discord is easy to hack. Just be careful. And the biggest bit of advice I can give you, you're watching us now, the majority of you are watching us on an exchange. Keep your money there, okay? Let's say you have a fictitious $10,000 and you want to go and play on Solana, for example. Go and get yourself a Solana wallet and send 1 Solana to your Phantom wallet, for example. And then go and play with Camino Finance, go and play with Radium, go and play with Orca, go and play with Marinade and get some, liquid staking tokens. Go and do all of that and have some fun, okay? And learn about crypto doing it that way. But keep your $9,850 on your exchange. Turn on your 2-factor authentication, turn on your anti-phishing code, turn on your mobile phone SMS alerts. Do all of that. Go to your security settings on the exchange you are on and make sure you have got 5 out of 5 green bars. Then once your money is safe, go to your non-custodial wallet, put a little bit of crypto in, and then go and play. The same, if these hacks happen on Discord, and you know they happen on Discord, you've got no excuse. Go and create an empty wallet. So in Phantom, you can add another wallet. Go and create an empty wallet and put $1 of Solana into it. And then use that wallet to connect to all of these different offers if you have to. And then if you find out it gets hacked, you delete that wallet and you start again. And it's as simple as that. So you create a barrier every time you do something. That's what you should be doing. If you're new to crypto, especially if you're new to crypto, only send $50 or $100 to Solana. Don't bother sending $50 or $100 to Ethereum. It's too expensive. Go and use Polygon, use Solana, use AVAX, use all of those other things. Ben Galban, Ben Gertzel's account hacked the other day, allegedly. Exactly. These hacks can happen, and they happen from time to time. Now, it's 12:04. We appear to have driven most people to sleep because we're down to 15 viewers. The vote today was, can we break $65,000 today? Yes, said 38%, and no, said 62%. I think it's going to be touch and go. I think it's going to be touch and go today. Anyway, I am going to go and make a video. I hope you have a great day. We do have a video. One other thing, which I need to tell you about. I am going to put a video up today. It is for a pre-sale that I found. I told you about it yesterday. It was called Shiba Showdown, I think it was called. There is a pre-sale, but I have found a giveaway, a free giveaway on the platform. So you go to the watch the video, and then it has, a section on there where it says free tokens. You put your name and I think your email address in, and you press go, and you'll be able to get free tokens. The day you go to claim those free tokens, you use an empty wallet. I cannot vouch for anything that we cover on our channel because we don't own those projects. I just make videos on things that I think are either free or you can get an airdrop. You know, we've covered Jupiter loads on this channel because they have been giving away tokens now all year, 7 months down the line, and we're still getting free tokens. Tariq is still awake. Anyway, yes, you asked. I think you asked. Yeah, I'll speak to you about that. Anyway, I'm going to go because everybody's leaving. So take care, everybody. I will see you all in the morning. Have a great nap, Kabir. Go back to sleep now, Tariq. And I will see you all in the morning. Take care.